cake.
Hi guys, welcome to the Tianna Diaries, and today we are going to be cooking dinner for you guys. We haven't really cooked much in a long time, so today we'll be cooking, and I am not going to be the one cooking today. Tianna, my daughter, is going to be cooking today for us, so we will see how Tianna do cooking, how she does cooking Jamaican brown stew chicken for the first time. She's cooked previously, but she has never cooked chicken. So this is just a test run. So we're gonna see how it turns out. And of course, I am going to be guiding her. So if you hear me talking in the background, I will be guiding her on what she needs to do. But she is going to be taking over for us today and making us dinner. So today's menu is brown stew chicken. So let's see what Tianna does.
Hi guys, this is Tianna, and today we'll be making brown stew chicken. So I've already cut up the chicken and washed it and cleaned it, and to wash it we used vinegar and lime. So now we're just going to season up our chicken and then have it marinate a bit, and then we're going to get our vegetables cut up while we do that. Alright, so I used a little bit of all-purpose seasoning, chicken seasoning, and I already put them in here. And then we're going to use a little bit of ginger seasoning and then our browning. We have Spur Tree Jamaican browning and Maggie Hugo browning. So let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and add our seasoning. Sprinkle that in there. Alright, looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and add our ginger seasoning. Now we're going to start. And then after we start, we're going to go ahead and add our browning. And we're just going to use a little bit at a time because we do not want it to run too much and become a lot. So let's just give this a little more of a stir, and then we're going to go ahead and add our browning. Looks good. Smells good. Now we're going to go ahead and add just a little tip at a time of our browning. So first we're going to go in with the Spur Tree. Not too much, just a little tip at a time. A little bit more. And then give that a stir. Then we're going to add a little bit more of our Spur Tree. And that's good. Let's give it a stir, see how it looks. Okay, it's coming together. So let's go ahead and add some of our Hugo. Let's see. And just a little more. See how that looks. Alright, so now guys, we have got our chicken all seasoned, and now we're going to set this to the side and let it marinate a little bit, and then we're going to wash and cut up our vegetables. And here we have our vegetables. We have a little bit of scallion, onion, garlic, tomato, pepper, and sweet pepper, and ginger. So now let's get these washed. And you gotta make sure you get inside these because it's dirty and they don't get cleaned properly. So you're going to make sure you wash them. Get those in there. So now our veggies are all washed, and then we're gonna go ahead and start getting them cut up. So I'm gonna start with my scallion, and I'm gonna just cut these up. Doesn't have to be too perfect because it's all going in the pot. So just get it cut. And this is my first time doing this, so I think it's a little fun. Then we're gonna get our sweet pepper, cut these up. Again, it doesn't have to be too perfect, it's all gonna go in one pot. So just go ahead and cut these. Let's get our onion cut up. Just slice it like so.
Guys, Tianna is cooking better on the camera than when she's cooking in person. She acting like she's a big chef already. Perfect. Remember to watch your fingers when you're cutting those veggies.
And I just save these back because these are like the stem and didn't want those in there. So we're just gonna toss those. And we have our garlic. We're just gonna dice these up real quick.
And Tianna just turned 14, guys, so it's time Tianna learn how to cook chicken.
And we don't want too much of this pepper, and we don't want to get too much of the seed because the seed's what gets it spicy. And we don't want that. We don't want it to be too hot. So just a little piece more, and that's good. Don't want too much. And this is a pretty big tomato, so I'm going to only use half of it, so we don't need a lot.
You can use all of that one because it's gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna cook down.
Yeah, you can use all because I don't really like to save tomato because.
Yeah, it's gonna get bad fast. Just cut those off. Toss those in there. And cut. And it doesn't have to be cut a special way because it just cooks down. So just cut it. And tomato cooks down pretty fast compared to all the other stuff we have here. So just cut that up. Nice.
Watch your fingers.
We just have a little piece of ginger, and I'm just going to cut this in half and just smash it down so we can get that flavor from it. Nice.
Okay.
That's all done. And then we're going to, let me just rinse off my hands a little bit. Now we're going to add our oil to our pot. So let's get that in there.
And your oil is already measured out. Ooh, did it spill?
A little bit, but I think that's still good.
Yeah.
That's still a good amount right there. We're just gonna get our pot on. Then we're gonna add our oil in there. And I think that's a good amount of oil. It's gonna start like...
Yeah, because we don't want to cook with too much oil.
Yes. And our pot's at, let's put that up to 6 so it can get hot. Our oil is in there. And then we're just gonna let that heat up a bit. and then we're gonna get our rice on.
So guys, it's brown stew chicken and white rice. So Tianna is going to wash her rice. Did you get the water on? You got to get the water in the rice cooker. And we're using rice cooker, guys, because not all the time we cook the rice on the stove.
And this is 3 cups of rice. So we're going to do 3 cups of water and a little bit, like half more.
You can drain out the sink. So how you think you're doing so far?
I think I'm doing better than I thought.
Okay.
This is 1 cup. I should get my pot.
Yes, you should.
Alright. This is 1 cup right here. And then 2 cups. Then we're just gonna do like 3.5. So this is gonna be our 3rd cup. And then a little bit more. It's just about a half of it. That's good. And then we got our water in there. Then there's our water. I'm gonna dry the bottom of this so it's not wet. Then I'm gonna add this in here. Then we're gonna go back to washing our rice. So here's 3 cups of rice, and it's in our rice washer, which is nice and easy. Just gonna start this. Make sure it's clean. So we wash this about 2 times, 2-3 times. Make sure it's clean.
Yes, about 3 times. And you drain and wash.
Yeah.
So within the 3 times, you should be draining and re-washing again.
And this one needs about 3 times.
Yes.
Let's just go one more time.
Okay.
And now, see how that water's cleaner? So it's like clear. Gonna drain this off. Then we're gonna add our rice to our pot and a little bit of butter. No salt because the butter is already like pretty salty. So we're just gonna use a little bit of butter.
You're gonna dry the bottom of your bowl so the water doesn't get into your rice cooker.
That's drained. Now we're going to go ahead and add our rice in our pot. So there it is. This is 3 cups of rice, guys. Go ahead and add that in there. Nice. And you don't need a lot of rice. It depends on how big your family is. We just do 3 cups because that's about all we need for us. And you can do like less or more depending on how many people you have in your family or how many people you're cooking for. So now our rice is in the pot, and then we're going to go ahead and add our butter. So I'm going to grab a fork for this, and we use the I can't believe it's not butter. Sometimes it's a different one. This is one reason right now. So we're going to go ahead and add our butter. That's a little bit less of the time. That one. Let's add a little bit more.
Yeah, you can put that in there. Give it a little stir. Try to break up the butter a little bit so it gets into the rice. Okay. And you need to get your spoon holder. You have one? Put your spoons. Okay, you can stand that.
Close it up, and then we're going to get our cover. Close up our pot and start it.
Don't forget to turn it on. Yep.
Nice. And then our oil looks like it's pretty hot right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn this down a little bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our chicken in there. Looks pretty hot. So let's go ahead and just add it.
Hold on your hand.
give it a little stir, then have that sit for a little bit, and then we'll come back and add our vegetables.
Yeah, you don't need to add the water because it will make its own water. Guys, the smoke detector went off a while ago, so we just paused the video a little bit. So because the oil was too hot, remember it's our first time, so just bear with us.
So
it looks good. So now you're gonna
close it up and then have it cook down a little bit, and then we'll add our vegetables.
Right.
So go ahead and close this up and have that cook down a little bit.
And you want to get your veggies in a bowl so you can have it, you know, easily pour it out instead of using
We're gonna go ahead and add our veggies.
Is that clean?
Yes, I just took this up.
Okay.
Tomato and garlic. Hope this is big enough.
It should be fine. Just take your time so it doesn't spill. If you feel like you will guide it better with your hands, you do so, because we're the one eating it. Okay? It's not like when you're doing it for people, you know, you
shake that down a little bit. Add the rest of it.
And your hands are clean, so you're good to do it that way, else you're gonna spill everything on the ground like what just happened. So you have that done. So actually you did a good job, because you know your time management for the first, your time management was good. Just next time watch your oil while you're moving around, because you know when it gets too hot it will, you know, yeah. So yeah, so everything is on. You have your rice on, and guys, we use a rice cooker. Not all the time we use our rice cooker, but I mean it's easier and it saves a lot of time, so that's what we use most time. But if we're cooking like rice and peas and stuff, we definitely cook that on the stove. Sometimes we do cook white rice on the stove. It's been a long time we haven't done a cooking video, so I think that this was a good time to do a cooking video with Tianna. So you want to check your meat?
Give it a stir so it's not sticking.
So it's making its own water, right?
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's cooking pretty fast. Now do you see some cooking?
Okay, so now you're gonna cover it again. Let it cook a little more. We're gonna turn this down just a tad bit, and then you're gonna add your veggies. And guys, this stove is very fast. You have to know how to work this stove because it's very fast. So what can you do within the time frame your stuff is cleaning up, cooking?
So while this is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and get my area cleaned.
Good job.
And then we'll be back.
Okay.
Alright guys, now we're back, and now we're gonna give our chicken a little stir, and then we're gonna add our vegetables. So let's see what's going on here. Ooh, that's looking good. And as you can see, it's already cooking. Chicken does not take that long to cook. So,
but you want to make sure it's cooked properly.
Yes, and make sure it's not raw.
So you need to add your veggies now, because you don't want the chicken to cook and the veggies is not added.
So we're gonna add the veggies. Let's see here. Just toss that in there. Make sure we get everything in. Now let's give it a stir. Stir our veggies in there, and then we're gonna have the cook down, and then we'll come back.
Okay, so now that your chicken is cooking, you added your veggies to your chicken, it looks good. Your rice is cooking. We're gonna talk about some of the mistakes that you made. It was not a lot of mistakes for your first time doing this. I'm very proud because I didn't know how you would handle it, but you handle it pretty well. So number one, when you're cooking, you don't set anything that can cause a fire or something on the stove. Your butter container, when you put the butter container on the stove, no. So always be mindful of that when you're cooking. The pot, always be mindful of your dish towel and holding the pot or whatever you're using to hold the pot, because if you don't have it properly, it will catch fire. So you got to be mindful of that. So you went ahead and you got a smaller towel. You want to show the towel that you got, so it's a little bit more smaller and easier to use. When you're doing your rice, always remember, you use a spoon or your fork or something to get your rice into your pot. Don't just use your hand and put in there, because then you want to practice that, so if you're cooking for people, you don't do the same thing. You know what I mean? Cleanliness. The next thing that I am proud of you for is I didn't have to tell you to clean up. You already know. You already know, like, you gotta clean up. So I didn't have to tell you to do that. So how do you think you did?
I think I did pretty good. I feel very proud of myself.
Yes.
Because I usually don't like
cook.
Yes.
Yes. Who does the cooking?
Mom.
or
Sometimes Dad.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't normally cook, so that was a good experience, and you did pretty good. So let's check your meat while we're talking, because you don't want that to burn. And you didn't add any water in there. It produces its own water, so you don't have to add any water in there because you don't want it too
That's looking good.
So always make sure that you're watching. You don't want it to stay there and dry out and not and burn. So you have to watch it, because you're gonna add a couple more items to this once it's cooking down a little bit.
And see, your tomatoes did not take long. None of them are supposed to not take long to cook down.
Yeah, but they still need to cook some more. Looking beautiful for your first time.
So let that sit a little bit more.
Okay. So you think you did good cooking?
Yeah, for my first time, I think I did good.
Big top chef cooking Jamaican brown stew chicken for the first time. Because you came here when you were 6 years old. You came to America and you have never cooked Jamaican food.
Never.
The only thing you cook is what?
Corned beef and like
tin mackerel. So yes, guys, the only thing she cook is corned beef and tin mackerel. So now she move up because she turned 14 now. So you step up the scale to something bigger, right?
Yes.
Okay,
and
so
I did all the prepping pretty much myself. You helped me out a little bit. But I think I did good for the very first time ever doing anything like this. And I know some people would like you said, will make a lot more mistakes or whatever.
Yeah, you did not make a lot of mistakes. That was very impressive.
And I felt
impressive. Yeah, because I thought you were gonna mess the stuff up, but you probably in your mind you're like, oh my god, I gotta make it right because mom's gonna get me if I don't make it right. But I mean, you were cool and you acted normal, so you didn't act like, were you like scared?
Not really. I just felt like if I was a little bit scared and more timid, then it would have really
mess up.
flow well.
Yeah.
So it just kind of relaxed myself a little bit and just went along with the flow.
So now if your friends ask you to cook something Jamaican, well, first thing you're gonna cook brown stew.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to try curry next. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little bit. That's a step up.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I think it's about if I just keep my head straight, keep my head to it, I think I can do it.
Okay, I think you can do it too. I mean, so yes, guys, she put on the brown stew chicken and her white rice. Because you know Jamaicans, we like our brown stew and white rice. You can have rice and peas too, but you know, brown stew chicken and white rice. So we're going to check our chicken again. And you know, you always have to be watching your time management when you're cooking, because I'm not going to tell you any lie, I've burned stuff when I get distracted. So time management is an art of cooking, so you have to know that. Yes guys, you know, Jamaica we come from, so we have to teach our children home economics, because they don't really teach that in school here, right?
Not really.
Yeah.
I think in like about like 9th, 10th grade, that's when we can take a class. But like I don't think it's like big much cooking, mostly like baking and stuff. So it's not really like at home cooking, like where you're cooking a nice big meal.
But in Jamaica, schools, they teach you how to cook like this, you know. Because when I was going to school in Jamaica, I learned to cook like this and bake. But I mean, everybody in our family can cook, so it wasn't too hard. But you know,
I think America's a little bit different because they don't really like have a diverse like food range. So
I mean, I think America has a diverse food range. It's just like probably the area or the state that you live in.
Area, state.
Yeah.
Or like most of the stuff is like easy like to go buy. So most people don't really want to like cook. It's easy to just go to like the nearest McDonald's or something and go buy a burger or something.
Yeah.
So they don't really take the time to.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is America don't really cook like how the Caribbean people will cook. It's like
everything's natural.
Yeah.
It's chicken, it's goat, like they don't do that over here. It's just fast paced, I guess.
So that's our rice, guys. Our rice is done. If you look at it, whoo, that's steam. So the rice is done. And that's good. So yeah, I mean, you did good. So we're gonna just let that simmer down and cook down a little bit, and we'll add a few items to it once our veggies is tenderized enough, and we will get back to you guys. See you then.
Hi guys, welcome back, and we're almost done. We're going to add a little bit of ketchup. This is the final touch, and I just added some mixed vegetables just to have a little side. And let's go ahead and add this. And then we're just gonna add this ketchup in there, and then we're gonna let it sit and simmer down a little bit, and then that should be it. Let's go ahead and add our ketchup. Let's get a new one. Just didn't want to waste that. Alright, I think that's good. Just a little more. We're gonna let that give it a little stir, and then we're gonna let that simmer down a little bit, and then that should be it.
And your brown stew should be ready after that, right?
Yeah.
Because your chicken is cooked, because it's been cooking a while.
That was just to give a little bit of flavor. We're just gonna close this up, let it simmer down a little bit, and then should be good. So while that's simmering down, we'll just go ahead and get everything ready for the plating, and then we'll be back. Alright guys, we're back, and our food is all ready and plated. And now we're gonna have a taste test.
How it tastes?
That tastes really good.
It tastes good for sure. Me taste it and it tastes nice.
I'm actually so proud of myself. I mean, I think I did pretty good for my first time. That's really amazing.
So now you see that you need to stop saying that you can't, and you need to try. Nora, how it tastes? Let's give you some. Come, eat. Good girl.
Is it good?
Nice.
Nora, is it good? Alright. And that concludes our video for today. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on Stitcher and Diaries. Thank you.
And hit that notification bell so when we upload new videos, you will be notified. Until next time, peace out on the Citron Diaries, guys. We're going to enjoy this meal that Tianna made for us today. Peace out.